Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. Bet365 is the first sportsbook to release some receiving, rushing, and passing yards prop for season-long action. Still no odds on the bet to lead the league in receiving, rushing, or passing, but we do have some individual players here with odds for their receiving yards, and that's where we'll start it off here with the wide receivers. I have three that I think hold some potential value for you, and the first one is DeAndre Hopkins, who had over 1,500 receiving yards last season through four different quarterbacks. Now he will have Brock Osweiler throwing him the football. Whether or not that's an upgrade remains to be seen. But the Texans also have Cecil Shorts coming back here and will take a few targets away from DeAndre Hopkins, but it also might relinquish some pressure off of him as well. And if Osweiler's arm has any sort of accuracy this season when throwing downfield to DeAndre Hopkins, these two could connect for a lot of long balls here in Houston, and it could really throw the over here at 1,410 receiving yards, well over the mark here for DeAndre Hopkins this season. Would not surprise me to see him back above 1,500 yards yet again this season. Now, next up, Antonio Brown, a much higher number at 1,710 yards, but Martavis Bryant down in his 765 yards from last season, but with Le'Veon Bell returning, I think Antonio Brown is once again a very good bet to have close to 200 targets. Once again, he finished just under that mark last season, and at 1,834 yards in 2015, he could easily go over 1,710 with Martavis Bryant out of things. Le'Veon Bell is just going to help him relinquish some of the pressure and force teams to really respect the Steelers' run games now with him and D'Angelo Williams. 2,000 yards for Antonio Brown is not out of the question this season. The Steelers are going to be throwing and throwing a lot. Now, finally, last year's league leader in receiving yards, Julio Jones, has an over-under of 1,750, but with this one, I think we might need to trend a little bit more towards the under here in this one. Obviously, Matt Ryan and the Falcons are going to be throwing the ball a lot, and Julio Jones, the unquestioned number one receiving option in that offense. However, they did bring in Mohamed Sanu and really overpaid him, and whether or not that means that he will get the targets like the amount of money they paid him remains to be seen. But he is going to steal some looks away from Julio Jones in this one, and they don't give a guy $14 million guaranteed. Along with their running game of Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, this offense might be able to spread things around a little bit more. So I think under is probably a little bit better of a play here for Julio Jones at 1,750 yards. Now, that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check out our passing and rushing yards looks here from Bet365 coming out later this week. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.